We've all been stuck here. You have a project to start, a goal to hit, or a room to clean, but you sit there, completely immobilized, waiting for a sudden spark of energy to finally push you into motion. We're taught a linear sequence for productivity. First, get motivated. Second, take action. Third, get results. Because of this, we fall into a trap, endlessly consuming content to force that first step. But waiting for readiness only pushes action further away, cementing our paralysis. This isn't just a lack of willpower. The idea that we need to feel like it before we do it ignores the way our biology actually processes effort. Treating motivation as a prerequisite to doing the work creates a cycle that makes starting almost impossible. The hardest part of any task is the 5 seconds right before you begin. Your brain registers the transition from resting to working as active, physical discomfort. When you try to shift states, your nervous system experiences a natural resistance. It is programmed to conserve energy and avoid sudden exertion. In chemistry, this barrier is known as activation energy. It's the heavy initial toll required to kickstart a reaction from a dead stop. A fleeting feeling of inspiration usually lacks the intensity required to clear that hurdle from a standstill. Since friction is at its peak the moment you try to start, waiting for a spontaneous desire to carry you across the line is a strategy that works against your own biology. To understand what actually works, we have to look at the brain's chemical reward system, which monitors physical movement and task execution. Here's the actual sequence. Force of physical movement. Your brain recognizes this momentum, releasing dopamine in direct response. This chemical spike creates the physical sensation of motivation. Now, the friction for the next action drops. The loop feeds itself. Maintaining momentum requires significantly less cognitive effort than generating it from a state of rest. We have to invert our timeline. Action is the engine that generates motivation, not the other way around. This leaves us with a practical paradox. If you need to take action to feel motivated, how do you force that first move when the resistance is at its highest point? You lower the barrier to entry so drastically that failing to start becomes absurd. Instead of a 5-mile run, put on your shoes. Instead of a chapter, type 1 sentence. Instead of a full workout, do 1 push-up. Shrinking the scale of the task bypasses the brain's fear and energy conservation alarms. It doesn't register the movement as a significant drain on your resources. By starting with something this small, you complete the first action before your brain's resistance can fully engage. This triggers the dopamine loop without the usual struggle. Once that micro-action is complete, the resulting chemical momentum makes every subsequent step significantly more likely to happen. Success doesn't require a massive reserve of willpower. It only requires the willingness to take one laughably small action immediately. Action creates the drive you're waiting for.